Aya Wilson is upset that Caitlin could pursue the chance to relocate to Europe for the 2025 league. Asia has already insisted on being the face of Nike, and now that she could earn so much money overseas, there is tension.
Nonsense about things that Caitlin was doing wrong when, in my personal opinion, she was doing nothing but going out there and playing great basketball every night and ignoring the hate that was coming to her from all sides, not only from fans.
Asia is unhappy because she feels that since Caitlin won MVP, she should be the most talked about player and receive the most opportunities, but that isn't the case. If she moves overseas, she will be the highest paid women's basketball star in the world.
Asia Wilson, 28 years old, 1,000 points in the regular season. Why is that not the biggest story out at the moment? Exactly. Why are we talking about Caitlin Clark?
Why exactly? Why when Asia was releasing a shoe were we talking about Caitlin Clark?
Caitlin has made the WNBA one of the most watched sports, improved sponsorship deals, and raised salaries, but the league still has players that act jealously, which is why she should quit. Let's examine a game in which Caitlin Clark is not present.
It's now commonplace where she'll go for 26 and 12. I mean, those are great numbers for any player, no matter how long you've been in the league. She's learned how to play the game, and she said, I had to learn how to play the WNBA.
Even though there weren't any WNBA fans prior to Caitlin's arrival, Aya believes she is the star. Caitlin ought to be the top-paid player. Hopefully, she will relocate overseas and demonstrate to players like Asia Wilson what life would be like without her. But if
you're supposed to be the MVP and you only got one win out of that series, that's why I think
the WNBA has been rocked by the possibility that Caitlin Clark would negotiate a deal with the European Basketball League. Europe has always been regarded as a haven for elite athletes in a variety of sports, with competitive leagues providing lucrative contracts and Caitlin with international renown. Playing in Europe has substantial financial benefits, with earnings frequently surpassing those provided by the WNBA. Europe offers a chance to maintain its high level of dominance in the game while securing a prosperous future.
4. Moved home games to bigger arenas when Indiana came to town to accommodate more fans. I'm not finished. Attendance for the entire league is up nearly 50% this year, and Indiana leads all teams with an average attendance of 17,035, up 319% from a year ago.
Aya Wilson has made it apparent how she feels about Caitlin Clark's deal in Europe, and the main source of her annoyance is the money problem. Asia has long dominated the WNBA, so the notion that Caitlin could make more money there hurts. In the world of professional sports, the highest paid players are frequently regarded as the most valuable both on and off the court. For Asia, this change in earning potential threatens her position as one of the league's top players. It's not just about financial security, it's also about the recognition that comes with being the highest paid player. Asia, who has dedicated her life to establishing her reputation and securing her place in the WNBA, must now confront the unsettling possibility that Caitlin's rising star may overshadow her. For someone who has represented the league for many years, this is a hard pill to take.
From being one of the most loved teams in the WNBA to being riddled with so much drama this season. Asia Wilson was under fire last week for the privileged comment that she made to Kelsey Plum.
But money isn't the only factor. Asia's response to Caitlin's contract with Europe is also based on her fear of losing her position as the league's leading figure. For years, Caitlin has been the name that people think of when they talk about women's basketball, but her quick rise has altered that. The idea that Caitlin could not only surpass her but also steal the show abroad is a blow to Asia's sense of security and prominence in the sport. Being the face of the WNBA is about more than just being a fantastic player. It's about being the athlete who captivates the public's attention, drives viewership, and represents the league internationally. Although Asia Wilson has had this role for a while, the two celebrities are now engaged in a heated rivalry as a result of Caitlin Clark's ascent.
Agree with it. I thought she would be unanimous. I mean, it's not even close. Because I said the most important person in the league is Caitlin Clark. And should be a top 5, if not, it should have been a top 3 MVP candidate.
I assumed she would be unanimous, but it's not even close because I stated that Caitlin Clark is the league's most essential player and ought to be in the top 5, if not the top 3 MVP contender.
You guys take a look at the stands. All the seats, even the courtside seats, are empty.
Wonder if they had a 5-game series in the first round, there might be a possibility they may not win that.
One of the most obvious distinctions between A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark is how fans view them. For Aya, it's not just about being the best player. It's also about staying relevant in a quickly evolving landscape where Caitlin's name is becoming synonymous with the future of women's basketball. Due to Caitlin's rapid growth of a devoted fan base that enthusiastically supports her on and off the court, her strong social media presence, and the high viewing of her games, there is now a noticeable gap between the two players. Despite her years of success, A'ja has not been able to maintain the same level of fan loyalty that Caitlin seems to command effortlessly. One reason for this is that Caitlin's entry into the WNBA has given the league a new narrative, and fans see her as the sport's future, while A'ja, despite her constant dominance, is seen as part of the league's past. Another reason is the excitement of new talent, which draws fans to the next big thing.
They were so bad, they got the #1 pick. You gotta be bad to get the #1 pick. And she led them to their first 20-win season in almost a decade. She led them to the playoffs. I mean, the girl deserved the award.
For Aya, this lack of fan recognition is frustrating since she has put a lot of effort into creating her legacy, yet someone who has only recently started to make an impression is overshadowing her. A'ja is worried that as Caitlin's army of supporters grows, her own fan base may dwindle, placing her in a less powerful position both in the league and in the public eye. Winning MVP should have cemented her as the face of the WNBA, but instead she's watching as Caitlin takes over the spotlight. This isn't just about losing fans, it's about losing relevance in a league where fan loyalty can make or break a player's career. Despite everything that Caitlin has done for the WNBA in terms of viewership and advocacy, she has encountered resistance from within the league. This resistance is surprising considering that Caitlin has not only raised the profile of women's basketball, but also introduced significant changes like charter jets for player travel. Why would the WNBA, an organization that should be celebrating its stars, treat Caitlin in this manner? Part of the answer lies in the nature of change. Caitlin embodies a new generation of athletes who question the current quo.
LeBron James had tennis shoes in his rookie year. He didn't have a fraction of the impact on the NBA that Caitlin Clark has had on the W.
Her candor, her quick ascent to fame, and her determination to demand better terms have made her a contentious figure. Some view her as a player who is appending the league too quickly and a threat to the status quo, but this resistance is also about power. Kin's influence has increased to the point where she can make demands, and people accustomed to controlling the narrative may find that kind of power unsettling.
Caitlin Clark, #1 in jersey sales, Angel Reese 2, Sabrina 3, Kate Martin 4. We talked about this earlier in the season. I feel sad that Kate Martin also hasn't gotten as much playing time the second half of the season. I feel like she deserves more, or maybe she deserves a different team. How crazy would that be if she went to Indiana? Just saying.
The league's unwillingness to provide full support. Caitlin represents a larger conflict between retaining authority and giving players a say. Beyond her onk, Caitlin Clark has made significant contributions to the WNBA. One of the most noticeable effects Caitlin has had on the league is the launch of chartered jets, which greatly enhanced player travel circumstances prior to her lobbying. WNBA players had to contend with demanding travel itineraries that frequently left them exhausted and unable to provide their best effort, so they pushed for chartered jets. In addition to improving travel conditions, Caitlin has been a strong advocate for enhancing the WNBA players' overall experience, from fair compensation to improved working conditions. She was able to make her fellow athletes' surroundings more professional and comfortable so they could concentrate on what they do best: play basketball. She has become a leader in the league because of her willingness to voice these concerns, even though doing so has drawn criticism from some of her peers and the league itself. Despite her persistent attempts to bring about constructive improvements that benefit everyone, Caitlin's accomplishments have not been widely acknowledged, nor has her work been honored. Caitlin is currently the subject of controversy. There is a divide between those who embrace Caitlin's vision for the future and those who are opposed to the changes she represents, since some players, like A'ja Wilson, view her quest for change as a challenge to the status quo. Caitlin Clark. The effect on viewing would be one of the WNBA's biggest worries if Caitlin Clark chose to move to Europe. The WNBA has seen a significant increase in viewership whenever Caitlin is on the court, but a noticeable drop in ratings when she is not. Caitlin has become one of the league's most popular players, with fans tuning in specifically to watch her play her dynamic style of basketball and her ability to connect with fans on a personal level.
The paying customer, the audience didn't feel that way. They did not give a damn about the WNBA. Is that fair to the ladies? No, it isn't fair. But they're the paying customer. You don't tell them what they want. They tell you what they want. And they really were not feeling the WNBA to the degree that they're feeling the WNBA now, obviously because of Caitlin Clark.
In addition to losing one of its best players, the WNBA would lose a sizable section of its viewership if Caitlin left for Europe. Losing a player like Caitlin could have devastating effects for the league as a whole, as individual players like A'ja Wilson would also suffer from fewer fans attending games. Sponsorship deals and endorsement opportunities would likely decline, impacting players' earnings and their ability to develop their personal brands, and Caitlin's ability to draw viewers is unmatched. Her departure would leave a void that would be difficult, if not impossible, to fill for a league that is still working to grow its fan base and increase its visibility.
It's expected of Caitlin Clark. She's supposed to be great. She's not the Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese is, because that's a surprise, which to me is wrong. Should LeBron not have won the Rookie of the Year because he was supposed to win?
If Caitlin goes and takes a significant chunk of the audience with her A'ja, who has already voiced unhappiness over Caitlin's rising star, would be in an even more challenging position. Beyond the court, Wilson is also frustrated with Caitlin Clark in the realm of endorsements, specifically with Nike. Although Caitlin has received a lot of promotion from the brand, a Nike athlete for years, has worked hard to establish her brand and solidify her place as one of the company's top athletes. However, despite Caitlin's growing popularity, Nike has been slow to fully embrace her, and she has been largely sidelined due to the controversy surrounding her in the league A'ja. This is not just about money. It's about recognition and influence. Endorsements play a crucial role in an athlete's career, helping to shape their public image and giving them the means to continue competing at the highest level. Nike's reluctance to fully support the fine line that brands must walk between promoting elite talent and averting controversy is shown by Caitlin.
Regardless of whatever noise has been out there. So when you show that you're able to perform in the face of adversity, to me, that is the true testament to greatness, and that's why we're looking at her and we're saying greatness is on the way.
Despite her greatest attempts to improve the WNBA, Caitlin Clark has received a lot of criticism from the league as well as some of her teammates. This criticism begs the crucial question of why Caitlin is perceived as being so misunderstood from the outside, which may seem confusing. Why does Caitlin encounter such animosity when she has only served to promote the WNBA, boost viewership, enhance player conditions, and fight for the league's survival? Players like A'ja Wilson, who have been in the game longer and have put a lot of effort into building their names, may feel envious and frustrated because many players strive for years to obtain the kind of recognition that Caitlin has in a short amount of time. Although Caitlin's success can seem like a threat, her departure to Europe marks a turning point for her personally and for the league as a whole. The contract gives her a new beginning away from the animosity she has encountered in the WNBA. Europe offers financial security and the opportunity to advance her career internationally, but the WNBA may suffer greatly if she leaves. Losing Caitlin would result in a decline in viewership and fan interaction, endangering the league's expansion. This choice would also change the power dynamics in women's basketball, as Europe becomes a new destination for elite players. In order to retain future stars, the WNBA must choose whether to modify and enhance player conditions or run the danger of losing more talent to chances abroad. If you liked Caitlin's decision, please leave a like. It will set the tone for the WNBA's future, influencing the league's development and the players' trajectories. Additionally, subscribe to see more videos immediately.